Welcome back. So now we want to expand our graphing so that lines can extend into other quadrants. If you notice, we were only graphing in quadrant one, but graphs of lines go in all different quadrants, okay? So let's begin by first making sure that we understand slope and introduce some new symbolism. So slope, steepness, and direction. A slope of a line, okay, measures the steepness and direction of a line. It is given by this formula, and we know that it's m, all right, equals the change in y, so how much the y's are changing, over how much the x's are changing, right? And they're giving us these little things here, delta y, delta x. All that means is this little small triangle is a Greek lowercase letter delta, and it stands for change in. So basically, when you see this, it's just a shorthand form of just saying the change in y over the change in x. So how much the y's are changing versus how much the x are changing. That's what slope is. So let's consider the line y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. First, notice that the slope is negative, right? This is a negative slope, a negative 2 over 3. So we know that this is going to be a line that points downwards, okay? Our y-intercept is positive 4, so that's where it's going to cross the y-axis. That's where we'll start when we're graphing it. Now, let's look at A. It says, why are the fractions negative 2/3 and 2 over negative 3 both equivalent to the fraction negative 2/3? Well, this, we're going to have to do a little bit of division, because remember that fraction bars are division, right? So let's take a look in our Desmos calculator. I'm going to try negative 2/3 in my calculator and see what happens. So negative 2, and I'm going to hit the division button, then I'm going to put a 3. I get this fraction here, which is negative 0.6 repeated. Okay. Now, if I tried putting the negative with the 3 instead of the 2, do I get the same answer? Yes, I do. So basically, you have to remember from 6th grade and 7th grade that it doesn't matter what number is negative in a division sentence, your answer is going to be negative. So when we divide positive and negative numbers, we divide the numbers without the signs, and then we decide how many division or how many negative signs are there. In this case, there's only one for both, so our answer is negative, okay? The reason why this is important is because when we look at this with slopes, we're going to graph these two lines, okay? We're going to graph the line starting at positive 4 on the y-axis, and we're going to graph it first with the slope being a negative in the numerator, so then 2 being negative. So let's take a look at that. That's what we're used to, so let's start there at least. Okay, so again, I'm starting on the y-axis. There's my y-intercept at positive 4. Now my roadmap tells me I need to go, this number tells me I'm going down 2. So I'm going to come here to my shapes, okay, and I'm going to go down 2, okay, and then my roadmap is telling me, the bottom number is telling me I'm going up 3. Sorry, not up 3, right 3. All right, even I get confused sometimes. Right 3, there we go. So there's my next point, okay, and I'm going to do it again. Remember, it's just a pattern. Down 2, right 3, make a point. Down 2, right 3, make a point. Once you get that slope pattern down, you just continue it as far as you can on the graph. Find all the points you can, just like I said in the last video. It's important to find all the points you can. All right, now, there's a lot of space over here to my left. Would you agree? All this space over here, there's probably some points from this line in this space here. Most likely in this space right here somewhere, right? So how do I find those points? Well, there's a couple ways. First of all, you could continue, you know that they're going to be up here, right? So you can sort of kind of figure it out on yourself. But the problem is, if you're just sort of eyeballing it, you might not get it right. What if I put a point here? Is that totally straight? I don't know. Let's look at, let's try a straight line here. If I try a straight line going through all the points, no, that's not going to really touch. So doing it by eye, just looking and trying to figure it out, is not going to help. So this is where this other idea comes in. So this other idea of putting the negative on the bottom of the slope. So back to the slope over here, the bottom number being negative, let's take a look at what that would do. So let's start back at our y-intercept, okay? Now the top number is a positive 2, so what does that mean? That means I need to go up 2. All right, so I'm going up 2. And then the bottom number tells me -3. Well, negative in the x direction. Remember, x is our horizontal axis, so left and right. Right is positive, so left has to be negative. So what that tells me is I'm going -3. And what did I just find? I found another point on my line. Okay, if I continue this, okay, up to right 3, sorry, left 3, another point, and then I think I've run out of space on my graph paper. Now I have found all the possible points on this line, which is important because you always want to find all of them. Okay, so now I'm going to connect it with a nice line that goes through all the points. Notice that it hits all of them completely square, all good. Now I'm going to finish it off with my arrows. Okay, I'm going to erase my guidelines because remember we don't need them after we've made our line, and then I'm going to label it. So the important thing to note from this video is that when you have a negative slope and you're trying to find the other side of that line, the parts or the points that are in a different quadrant, you can put that negative with the bottom number, go back to your y-intercept and find the opposite side, okay? So this is really a nice thing to note because now we have found every point that fits on this graph paper that is on this line, okay? You guys are gonna try your hand at this in the next exercise. So good luck, and I will see you in the next video.